So I really struggled with the subject matter here because it may be a little controversial, but I feel that it needs to be said. Talking a little bit about the church and how we're running transgenders and gays off. I mean, people are leaving churches in droves. And maybe this is why. Well, Ralph Waldo Emerson said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. And we think, that's right. Man, the world is trying to make me something I'm not. The world expects me to conform to society. The man is holding me down, and darn it, the heck with them, right? Well, what if we are the ones that are trying to change people into something that they're not? What if transgenders and gays are literally, that's what they are? What if? And we just condemn them and we shun them. There's a story, right? This capsized boat had like 120 people on it, and there's an emergency helicopter come by. It could hold 20 people. Well, they had a problem. Who do we rescue first? Well, they decided to rescue the ones that were swimming towards the helicopter first because they really, really wanted to help. They really wanted to help. They knew they needed to be saved, so they saved them first. Right? You can't try to save people that don't want to be saved. You can't try to change people that don't want to be changed. We can't try to change people that maybe are what they are. There's a law of psychological resistance. The law of psychological resistance basically states the more you try to change somebody, the more they're going to resist it. All of us dads know if you tell your daughter you're not allowed to date that guy, that young punk with a leather jacket and a motorcycle, that was me. You're not allowed to do that. What is she going to do? She's going to want to date the guy even more, right? They don't want to change. The best thing that we can really do as Christians and as a church is to lead by example. Lead by example. When we ultimately change ourselves, that often invites others to be curious about us. When we change ourselves and we are more open-minded and we are curious about them, they're more likely to be advised or to listen to us. Meaning, you change, get the wording right, we change to curiosity instead of condemnation. Curiosity instead of condemnation. Be the curious observer. Learn about them. Be open to their thoughts, their ideas, their suggestions, their feelings. Lead by example. Be open. It's not that they need to understand us and our beliefs. We need to understand them and they. We need to understand them, and that's when they'll be curious about us. When they learn that we can change, they'll be more likely to listen. They'll be more likely to take advice. They'll be more likely to be open to our suggestions. Kind of like teenagers. Who do they listen to? They're not going to listen to the parents. They listen to their friends, their peers, their YouTube influencers, because they're more like them. They're more their age. They feel that they understand them. They look at us as the church and say, they don't understand me. And you know what? They're right. We don't. And I don't think that most of us are trying to learn anything about it. So why in the heck would they listen to us? Why would they come and ask for our advice? Well, they won't. because we're not willing to change. We're not willing to be open-minded. We're not willing to listen. When you argue, this person argues against this person because this person's story is right and this person's story is right. So they clash. And neither one are going to get anywhere until one is open to listen and open to understand. You don't have to agree, but you have to understand if you want them to even halfway consider what we're trying to say and what we're trying to do as a community, as a church. Replace certainty with curiosity. I'll say it again. Replace certainty, whatever you know or feel is correct, with curiosity. Be curious. Be the curious observer. Be curious. Learn. Understand. See where they're coming from. Why this? Because when you ultimately change yourself, you're more likely to be able to influence others because they are now curious about how you changed. Wow, this person really cares. This person is willing to change so that I can listen to them, so that everybody can be understood. You know, instead of becoming an influencer, become a heart-fluencer. Listen from the heart. Love from the heart, like we're taught to do. Love others. Love everybody. Jesus asked one thing. Love me and love others. Hope this is Sunday, by the way. Remember Walt Emerson? I got to get it right, so I got to read it. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Turn that around and think, are we the ones that are trying to make everybody else something that they're not? Because remember, just what if? Because we don't understand. We don't understand. We don't understand. We don't try to understand. We don't understand because we don't try to understand. Don't condemn before you're curious and learn. And boy, the world will change. Goodness gracious. If they feel that they are that way, they are. May not be, but in their mind, they are. So let's love everybody. Everybody have a great Sunday. Remember that we all were born of greatness. Every single one of us. So let's go prove it.